I'm now joined from Kabul by our international correspondent, Annelies Borges. Annelies, good to see you there. So what are you hearing about Panjshir and the announcement of a new government?
Hi there, Stefan. Well, we've been hearing conflicting reports about Panjshir for days now. We understand that the valley is completely surrounded by Taliban forces and that the main supply line that has supported this resistance movement, but past resistance movements, has been completely cut off. So the situation is indeed very tense there. But after offering that ceasefire deal, Ahmad Massoud is now posting on social media, calling on the entire country to rise against the Taliban, to support Panjshir. He's also asking for the international community to not sit idle, to speak up before it's too late. And there are reports that the Taliban might be waiting for Panjshir to be captured before they make that much anticipated announcement about the new government. So far, we have yet to hear who is going to be doing what in their regime.
So what is the feeling on the ground there? Is there any update on the status of Kabul airport?
Well, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear and anger as well among people that I've been speaking to. Many have been talking to me about not only the concept of what's happened here, about the Americans leaving and the way they left, but also handing over power effectively to a group that is still considered a terror organization. Many people here have been talking to me about very concrete needs, like feeding themselves. They have been talking about not being able to access cash. Many people here have lost their jobs. The Afghanistan government used to hire some 90% of the workforce. Now, these people don't really know if they can go back to work or when they will get paid. And even if they did have some money in the bank, well, those banks are now virtually frozen. The Taliban have put some caps. People here can only withdraw some 20,000 Afghanis. That's about $200 a week. One would say that that's quite a lot of money, but people here have been saying they've been queuing in front of banks, and I've been seeing them queuing in front of banks for days now, unable to get any cash. So the situation can get significantly worse for ordinary Afghans who have already been struggling for quite some time now. This is a country whose population, half of the population, were already in need of humanitarian aid before this crisis actually started. And experts are saying that if nothing is done, if aid cannot resume, the GDP could fall by 25%. That would effectively mean that the economy would completely collapse. So there is a lot of worry and there's a lot of concern about that. Authorities, the international community has been negotiating with the Taliban to get the ball rolling, to get that airport, as you said, up and running once again. And we do understand that there are Qatari nationals, but also UAE nationals at the airport right now. We went to the airport today and they gave us a tour of the facilities, showing us around, showing how much damage was left behind, but saying that they are working round the clock to make that facility operational once again so that aid can resume. But UAE officials telling me that they've already landed 3 planes here, that the international community could be doing the same. The most important thing now is to alleviate the suffering of ordinary Afghans. But of course, that is the conundrum, isn't it? That is the big question for NATO allies, for the international community. How far do they go in recognizing this new administration, which once again is still considered by many a terror organization? How far do they go in recognizing this new regime so that they can actually support this new regime and support the people of Afghanistan?
All right, Annelies, thank you very much. Annelies Borges, our international correspondent who is in Kabul. Thanks for this update.